All right, in case you just joined us, please silence your cell phones. We've got microphones that will pass around prior to asking your question. Please state your media affiliation. We're now joined by North Carolina A&T players Richie Kittles along with Zachary Leslie and Lamar Reynard. We'll now start with questions here in the front.
This question's for Lamar. Talk about your first touchdown throw. Was it seemed like it was a hitch and go? Talk about that play.
The first touchdown, I believe it was a post.
Yep.
Zach. Yeah, we just want to take advantage, of the defensive backs. Offensive line protected very well, and Zach, did a great route. And, I just had to put it, in the area. I mean, he's a big body. He's gonna make plays. So it was just a well executed play.
Right in the front, and we'll go there next.
Yes, Lamar, this is Anthony with the Atlanta Voice. Of course, you had a pretty good game, but I know there was a time where momentum seemed to switch to the Braves, and I just wanted to, and you did have a pass where you was hit going out of bounds. Can you just talk about what was going through your mind at that moment, and pretty much how did you overcome that adversity?
First and foremost, Alcorn has a great team, has a great defense and offense, and it was probably what happened during the game where they got momentum and they had a couple stops, but we just had to fight. And I told my guys on the sideline, if something good happens, keep playing. Something bad happens, keep playing. And we rallied together. And that last drive was the most important drive of the game. Like I said, Alcorn, they coach very well. They play hard. They got some hits in on me, but as a team, we're warriors on North Carolina A&T, and we did a great job. And I want to shout out the defense too, because they did very well as well.
Right here to the left.
Richie, the defense takes a lot of pride in stopping the run. They put up a bunch of numbers today. How good was that running offense that you faced today, and how'd you guys sort of go with the flow of that game?
Like Lamar said, Alcorn has a great team, so we knew coming in the game that 3 and 13 was those guys, and we knew they was pretty good. So we just stayed the course, and like I said, they have a great team, and we just kept on fighting, and we just had to get that stop. And once we got that stop, we knew it would be good. And like I said before, they good, so we just had to focus on getting the stop, and that was our main focus.
Donald Ware with Box to Row, Lamar, or Zachary. Can you, not only the last drive, can you talk more about that last drive, but also the third down conversion when, Lamar, you got it to Zach?
Zach, he's been making plays all year. If you look at his stats, he's been making plays all year. And one of the guys that I trust, I trust everybody, but I trust Zach as well. And our offensive line, they played well today. They gave me time to give him the ball, so. I want to shout them out. I want to shout Coach Mattis out. He's our offensive line coach. He did very well. And Coach Barnett, he's the offense coordinator. And like I said, he's a big body. I just have to give him the rock. And, he's going to make a play.
Right in the front.
Anthony with the Atlanta Voice again. This is you guys' third Celebration Bowl trophy championship. This can be, you guys, can you just reflect on what it means, particularly this season, finishing 10-2, how that feels, just from everything that happened this season?
Hey, it's just a blessing to be able to play this game. Coming to the game, Coach said, just do it for the seniors. He was like, this is one of the best senior groups to ever come to the school. So he was like, finish. So that was our main focus going into the game, was just finish. And at halftime, we had to go in and just finish.
Right here.
Stevie Gaither, HBCU Game Day. Lamar, last game for you at A&T. Just talk about what it means for you and the senior class to go out on top, as well as your teammate Cartwright and the rest of the guys.
Like you said, the last game here at North Carolina A&T, I really can't describe it. It really hasn't hit me yet. This senior class, we put in a lot of work. A lot of work. And so has the whole team. But, the senior class, we put in work. I'm going to miss my guys. And, You know, I'm glad that we could go out on top today because we really wanted this, you know, as a team and as a senior class. And Coach Wash preached it, do it for the seniors. And, you know, we came out, you know, and executed plays, and, you know, the defense, you know, did well. And it just feels amazing to be on the winning end again and, you know, to have 3 Celebration Bowl championships. And it's nothing but God. God is so good, and he had favor, you know, on us today. And I really appreciate that.
Left side, second row.
Yeah, Lamar, just to sort of follow back up on that, I was gonna ask the same question, but this wasn't an easy year for you. You had the injury coming into the season for the first few weeks, then you had the concussion, but to finish it like this, and then probably put together all you guys, probably the best 5-year run we've seen in Black college football, what does that mean for this program?
Like you said, from last year, from everything going so smooth, going to 12-0, and then this year I had some struggles personally. It was times when I doubted myself, but my teammates, you know, they stayed on me. Coach Wash, the coaching staff, they stayed on me and picked me up. A lot of people doubted me, and you know, they believed in me. I even doubted myself at times, and like I said, God is so good, and you know, I want to thank these guys. I want to thank North Carolina A&T for, you know, giving me a shot to play quarterback here, and I'm gonna miss these guys, and you know, I'm glad that we could go out on top.
Right in the front.
James Hill with JamesHillSports.com. Talk about cementing your legacy. Each one of you gentlemen say a little something on that, please.
I really don't like to talk about myself, but you know, I just try to come in each and every day, you know, work hard for my teammates. 34-2 as a starting quarterback here at North Carolina A&T. It's tremendous, and you know, I gotta shout out my whole team because we put in work. I don't think y'all understand. During the summertime, we don't go home for the summer. We stay at North Carolina A&T. Right when we get out of school in May, we go home for a week and we right back at it. You know, a lot of teams go home, but you know, we all sacrifice, and it shows. And you know, I want to thank Coach Wash. I want to thank Coach Cedric Walthall for pushing, you know, this whole team to greatness, and I appreciate them for that.
Right in the back, we got time for 2 more.
Dwayne Nash from the Yard HBCU Sports. Lamar, today was your best passing day of the entire season. What was it that you and the offense saw in Alcorn's defense that you were capable of exploiting?
We knew Alcorn was a great defense. We watched film on them. They played hard, they played fast. But at times, you know, we just needed, you know, to step up and make plays. And, you know, we did that. Like I keep saying, the O-line protected well. And, you know, the guys on the outside made plays. And, you know, the running backs protected well as well. And I really didn't know that until you said that. But, you know, it feels good to just go out on top as a team.
Right to the right.
Jonathan Simmons from Real Talk Sports here in the Atlanta area. I heard you guys mention a couple of times about how the Lord got you through and brought you to this point. How important was your faith taking you through some of the ups and downs that you guys have had in this magical 4-year run?
Yeah, I mean, God is so good, man. To beat, you know, some great teams at the beginning of the year and then losing 2 games that we thought we should have won, and you know, a lot of people turning their back on us, and you know, we just had to stay the course. And God is so faithful. He's so good. And you know, like I keep saying, it was just times where I doubted myself. I cried in Coach Wash's arms. He could tell you that when he come here. I cried in his arm. I said, "What's going on, Coach? Like, why I'm not clicking like I used to?" He said, "Just stay the course, son. Stay prayed up, you know." And personally, I tried to do that. You know, pray for myself, pray for this team. And here we are, MEAC champions, and you know, HBCU national champions. And you know, it's a beautiful thing. These are my brothers right here sitting with me. My brothers in the locker room, and I'm gonna miss these guys. You know, as a senior quarterback, you just try to lead. As a quarterback, period, you just try to lead, and they allowed me to lead them. And you know, I'm very appreciative for that.
One more right here.
Zach, talk about your big day at the office on this stage and in this game.
Coming into the game, you know, I just knew I had to step up. 13, Elijah, you know, he was a role model for me. You know, he had big games. So I just tried to come in and play my part. And, you know, in playing my part, you know, I ended up having a big game. It's just a blessing, you know what I'm saying, to be able to play this game at this level.
I think we got them all, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. If you weren't able to get your question in, players for both member schools will be available for post-game by request through the school's sports information director. But please exit through those doors if you decide to leave. Coach Washington makes his way up. Today's announced attendance was 31672. 31672. Now joined by head coach Sam Washington of North Carolina A&T. Coach will open it up with a statement. After your opening statement, they will have questions.
Open up with a statement. First, I'd like to say thanks to the City of Atlanta and the Celebration Bowl Committee for putting on the A1 bowl game and a contest. And I also like to send out our sympathies to Mr. Grant, John, and his family for the tragic accident that happened within their family. And all hard work and the efforts that he put into this thing and was not able to be here today. That's tough, but that shows a lot of character in that man. He's with his family where he should be. That's where we started. And then the football game. It was, I thought the first half was pretty solid. I thought we played well on both sides of the ball, and we punted the ball well the first half. And we were able to keep them out of the end zone on the defense. And we was able to score points on the defense. And then the second half, not so much. Wasn't quite as happy with the outcome. I thought we didn't play as well. And then they found that zone seal. They started running the zone seal keep, and we got our eyes in the wrong place, and they popped us for 2 big ones. And that's one of the things that we just do not do, and that's give up long runs. And we gave up 2. And we gave up 2 big ones, huge ones. And that really just threw everything out of sync. And so we changed a few things defensively and was able to get back on track and got the 3 and out when it was possibly necessary, or most important. I thought that drive there, if we didn't stop them on that drive and we only had a 2-point lead, then we were in for a tough situation. But we was able to go 3 and out when we needed it most. Questions?
Starting on the right-hand side.
Coach, Dimitri Chin, Action Sports and News. You guys have been to this bowl game the most and also have the most wins while in this bowl game. What does it mean to you to be able to represent this program in this bowl?
Well, it's very important that we get an opportunity to play postseason play. And then it's just an extra cream on the top of it when you get the opportunity to play in a bowl game such as this. So we're very happy and proud to be a part of it. And if you don't mind, we'd like to come back next year.
Yeah, right there in the back.
Coach Donald Ware with Box to Row. The big run that Waller had, your defense, the second one he had, your defense ultimately held them to a field goal that pulled them to within 3. Can you talk about how big that was, only holding them to the field goal? And then also Malik Wilson's kickoff return for a touchdown. Seems like many times this year when you needed it most, he came through.
He shows up. That's what makes that young man special. You're absolutely right. That stand was very critical into our success. And we felt that we got him stopped, we would have a chance. And it was just that what we did not do, we could have did some things better. And I thought the adjustments that we made should have been made a little sooner. And that's partly on my shoulders there. So it's possible I should have done some things differently earlier. But it happened the way it happened, and it happened the way it should happen. And just happy they kicked the ball to Malik. And again, for the 3rd time this year, when the opposing team got Big Mo, had momentum on their side, 100% in their favor, that young man returned the kick for a touchdown and we get Big Mo right back. And that's crucial. I don't care where you playing or who you playing against. That takes a lot of wind out of your sails. You're up so high and then bam, and all the wind gone. I love it.
On the back here to the right.
Coach Jonathan Simmons from Real Talk Sports in the Atlanta area. You talked about things being on you. So now, a lot of times it's difficult for a coach to come in behind a legendary coaching program. What does it mean for you personally? I know it's a team game for you to come back and win this championship the very next year.
Well, honestly, I don't think that it have hit me yet. I think once I start to decompress and have the opportunity and time to reflect, I'm sure I have a lot of opinions about that. But as of right now, it's been one week after the next, trying to put one foot forward at a time, and that's the way I've done it. And right or wrong, that's just the way I've done it. So I haven't had the chance to reflect yet.
On the left side.
Coach Washington, Bradford Brooks representing 3rd and 30 from Greensboro, North Carolina.
What's up, Brad?
You being a first-year coach, first and foremost, congratulations on your win. What does it mean for you as a first-year coach to be able to do this and being able to be in a game, on a national televised game, and you guys capturing your 3rd title? What does it mean for the program in this recruiting process as well?
Well, I'm not sure if it was first or the 5th year. I'd have been equally as happy, regardless of the number of years. And whenever you win on a national stage like this, it only helps and increase with interest from young kids coming your direction. So we're hoping that this opportunity and this platform will increase our recruiting efforts. Yes, sir.
We got one here to the right.
Okay. Coach Charles Bishop, Dr. Bills inside the HBCU Sports Lab, Houston, Texas. When Alcorn seemingly was getting back in the game, your young man, they talked about staying the course. Talk about just the mindset on the sideline in terms of North Carolina A&T stealing that momentum away again.
Well, should I tell him, Luke? There's this old saying that we live and die with this one. If something good happen, keep playing. If something bad happen, keep playing. And that's exactly what we did. And what we did, we collected everybody together. I had Lamar to collect all the offensive guys, had Darryl to collect all the defensive guys. And they went through that little ritual. Keep playing. And they did.
In the very back there.
Coach Mike Sands, WLBT, Jackson, Mississippi. You were almost prophetic in the way you described Alcorn yesterday, getting down in the dirt and bloody in your nose. They gave you everything you could handle. What did you make of them?
They're a football team. They're a very good football team. And those are the ones that give you really problems. The ones that don't try to do nothing fancy or trickery. Just line up and play, come right at you. And those are the football teams, in my opinion. And not the ones that do all that old misdirection and they trying to find a way to win. That's a football team. They know how to win.
Coach, congratulations. Kevin Taylor of Taylor Made Sports, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
And just wanted to ask you, just talk about the resiliency of your team because, you had a little bit of adversity during the season, but you got back to this point. Just talk about how you as a staff and your team were able to handle that.
And you know what? And that's one thing I must do. I must give my staff a lot more credit than they've received to this date. They have been a tremendous part of all our success, of course. But the fact that the resilience part and the persevering and being, steady and staying on task and staying on the course, they have did a tremendous job. They really have. And I like to publicly say I'm thankful, grateful, and we're going to have a part of time of our life this evening.
Who's back, Mark? Coach Mark Wright from ESPN, The Undefeated. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
If you could put your finger on a single moment in the game there when palms got sweaty and players are looking around at each other and asking the question, man, are we going to be able to pull this out? Was there a moment for you as a coach where you felt that moment where, all right, if we don't do what we need to do, this thing's going to be slipping away from us?
Well, I think it was several of those. The one with the long run, the first long run, when he split the seam and we had a gap wide open. That's something that we just don't do. We don't leave gaps open like that. And for that to happen and for, someone to get out of their responsibilities that badly was a problem for me. And then they were able to find another seam later. And those two long runs, were really putting me on edge. And then I think the third time I was on edge, when offensively we went out and went 3 up, 3 in and 3 out. You can't do that. I was hoping that even if we don't answer the score, we at least get some ball movement and punt the ball and pin them where they would have to go at least 80 to 85 yards. And we didn't do that. And they ended up with the short end of the field there. And, So yeah, my palms got very sweaty at that moment.
We'll get two more in. We got here.
This is Josh Kincaid with Dobbins Air Reserve Base.
How you doing, Josh?
Good, Coach. How would you describe this senior class?
The best in the world. Can they come back? Oh man, I tell you what. Wow, it's gonna be difficult to watch those guys leave. You know, they've been around from the beginning, from the start. You know, 4 and 5 year guys. So it's gonna be very difficult for this particular class. I don't know why. Last year class, I felt the same way though. You know what I mean? So it happens every year. So let's just hope it continue to happen. But their perseverance and their willingness and want to and their work ethic, you know, they got it. They understood, you know, what we were preaching and teaching. You know, sometimes you can teach and preach all you want, and they really don't comprehend. They really don't understand it. You know, and they become mechanical and just trying to please you. This group here understood what we were saying and was willing to put in the effort and time and whatever it takes, you know, to be successful. And that's what makes them special. They're willing to do, and you hear them say, I say this all the time, and then some. Do your job well, and then some.
Luke Williams, Black College Sports Base. Coach, we all know in Greensboro, and I guess they know around the country, you pride yourself on being able to stop the run. They ran for over 300 yards, I think. I left my stat upstairs.
Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
So what I want to know is, but you said you had to make an adjustment because that hole was big enough. I could have run through
Absolutely.
it. You know, what adjustment did you have to make to
We just started slanting into it. You know, because what they were doing, they was putting it on the end where he had an option. He had to figure out, was that guy coming to block him or coming to avoid him? And if we would avoid and what we call wrong arm, then the quarterback would keep the ball. So that made it us one short, as we call it. So we needed a free tackler. So instead of you know, bending or boxing, we just let him sit and slanted everyone else. And once we did that, it took it up.
I think we got them all, Coach.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you guys.